all about Scorpio part 27. Okay, so I decided to actually post this recording in response to the question and the situation of one of the subscribers, and I really thank you for leaving some comments and sharing your inputs and your experience with a Scorpio woman. So that's Ang, actually. So thank you so much, Ang, for the greetings and for the comments. I appreciate that. It also gave me some sort of like an opportunity to do more research and at the same time to talk about, based on my own personal experience, about Scorpio women, like when they stare at you and all that, what she has been doing. The thing is, Scorpio women are really, really mysterious. Very mysterious. It's sometimes really hard to read what's on her mind, you know. But definitely there are some signs that I might share to you guys who are interested in a Scorpio woman that might help you really try to uncover what it is really. Probably, you know, I'm not saying that I can really do that, but I'm just going to base it on personal experience and the experience of other Scorpios that I know, okay? Since most of my acquaintances and friends are also Scorpios. So, but before we proceed to that, we're actually going to talk about Scorpio. How do Scorpio women flirt, basically? And when it comes to the dating games and all that, and some dating tips as well. But before we proceed to that, of course, I'm going to answer the, or try to talk about, rather, the previous recording. I've promised that we're going to talk about how would you know if a Scorpio woman is finally done with you. I don't think I'm going to talk about, in a very lengthy manner and all that, but as simple as this: when a Scorpio woman is actually done with you, in my own personal experience, there's going to be a huge change, definitely. A really huge change. Like, for instance, they could ignore you, like as if you never existed. That's what I do. So if I'm over with someone and I really don't like that person anymore, or I got hurt and I decided to move on, it was as if I never knew the person. That's how hard it is, you know? When we love with passion. We try to show everything, and really our loyalty is undying loyalty. The passion is there. We could, treat our man as if, they're really the king, especially if we really respect the person and would allow ourselves to be just behind, like we don't want to be the spotlight. We wanted to just be there behind them and support them in everything that they wanted, to achieve their goals, something like that. Now, once Scorpio women get hurt, normally what they do is, again, they will amputate you by freezing you out and acting really like an ice cold queen. So Scorpios are extremes. As you can see, they will love you passionately, would do everything for you. But once they're done, they can be totally the opposite of what they've been showing. Like, totally the opposite. Like, if they found out that, that you're actually just, like, really, or they got hurt in the process, or you did something that really, really pissed off a Scorpio, and it's something that it's hard for them to forgive the person, then they would do things that is totally the opposite. Like, in my case, I can be the worst ice queen ever. Like, I can be so sweet and so caring and so passionate and all that. But if I got hurt about something, I would definitely change that and become the ice queen, really. So it's extremes, basically. And worst thing is, I can even treat the person as if I never knew him. Like, he never existed in my world. That's how harsh Scorpios can be, especially when they got hurt. But again, always remember that you probably triggered something for them to act that way. So it's not, Scorpios has long patience, actually. So, well, it depends. Not all Scorpios are the same. But if you actually, generally, if you try to piss off a person who's been so patient with you, who's been always there for you, and been very nice with you, and then, by abusing that patience, that kindness, and all that, when a Scorpio is done, it's really done. And most of the time, they don't go back. At least in my case, in my experience. When I say I'm done, I'm done. I don't look back. So that's the sad part. So before coming to that stage, you should pay attention, and you should actually try to realize before it's way too late, because normally, and most of the Scorpios that I know, other than myself, when they're actually done, it's done. They're going to close the doors and that's it. Because our belief is when you've done it once, you could probably do it twice or thrice in a row, or you could do it again, Scorpios are actually very patient, especially if they've invested a lot or if they really love the person. They will try as much as possible to become very, very patient and understanding. But once, they came to a point that they're really done and they got really, really pissed off, there is a huge chance that there's no turning back any longer. So, of course, you wouldn't want that to happen. So, pay attention to it. Make sure that if you really wanted to keep this woman, then make sure that you listen and try to pick up on the signals and all that. And before it's too late, basically. So, it's as simple as that, okay? Now, I also checked out this website about breakups. And I think it's nice to talk about it. This is by astroreveal.com. Not just for Scorpio women, it would apply to Scorpio men as well. Breakups and Scorpios, okay? So it says here, tread carefully with a Scorpio. Once you've blown it with someone born under this star sign, it's hard to avoid a breakup. It's true that as a fixed sign, Scorpio is resistant to change and doesn't give up easily. That's so true. But because it's also ruled by Pluto, the planet of endings, once it has finally walked away from a relationship, it's unusual for Scorpio to turn back. Exactly what I just said earlier. And that's why I would like to highlight that point, that the point that Scorpios, when they're really done, when they got really fed up with you and all the lies and all the things that actually did hurt them a lot, then the chances really of winning them back again is really, really slim. It's really, really slim. I've done it myself, like what I've said earlier. Like, it's as if the person never existed. It's as if the person is a stranger. I can be that harsh. At least I'm honest, I don't want to be a hypocrite. So it depends on the gravity, of course, the situation or the pain that was caused or inflicted. But if it was really, really painful, we can turn out like that, like turn into a complete ice princess, like very, very cold. We can be so hot like a volcano, but we can be as cold as, ice, or an ice princess, really. Okay, next thing it says here, the trouble is you're unlikely to know you've upset a Scorpio until it's probably too late. That's the thing. Yeah. That's why I said earlier, try to pick up the signs. As the most secretive sign of the zodiac, Scorpio's resentments tend to smolder away, hidden beneath an icy cool exterior before the volcano finally erupts. Then it will suddenly spew out all of those black marks it's been quietly noting down against you, and there won't be a thing you can do. So what you need to understand is that you can hide anything. Again, can't hide anything from a Scorpio, however hard you try. Their radar intuition and extraordinary powers of detection makes them really good at sniffing out lies. So that's so true. Uncovering secrets and digging out all kinds of dirt. Scorpios know the best way to gain power over others is to find out as much as possible about them. That's why we love to probe. That's why we love to ask questions. And sometimes we do it very Sorry, I have to make a comment about that, but because that's so true. When you're actually interested, either we're interested about a person, or there's something that we need to find out, we probe, and we don't do it in a way that it's so obvious that we're probing. Sometimes we do it in such a way, in a chatty manner, like we're just talking, and then inject all those questions, but Scorpio is paying attention to those answers that we're asking, okay? And then that's when we build up the investigation and try to probe, and, we'll get to know more about who this person is, what are their weaknesses, what are the signs that we need to look out for, something like that, Scorpios are definitely very, very observant. Sometimes they can just, try to chat up with you like it's nothing. But actually, they were able to uncover a lot of information from you just by chatting with them, So, kind of like a smart move, really. And I'm pretty sure Scorpios would agree to that, and most Scorpios that I know. And even actually, when I'm talking to a fellow Scorpio, they would do that, and it was like, in my head, it was like, don't do that to me, because I know your style. I'm a Scorpio too, so I could, sense the way you try to probe or ask questions. It's really just to uncover information, although they try to appear as though they're actually just chatting with you and they're very lively and all that, but they're actually trying to uncover some information. Sorry, I have to mention that as well. Anyway, where was I? Okay, like what I said, Scorpios know the best way to gain power over others is to find out as much as possible about them. You would know their weakness, their strengths, and all that, while revealing the minimum about themselves. They don't reveal that much. So 9 times out of 10, breakups of Scorpios will be down to some kind of power struggle. Scorpio is the biggest control freak in the zodiac, and if you dump a Scorpio, it's usually because you can't stand any more of their manipulativeness and possessiveness. I myself am a Scorpio, and dealing with Scorpios who are very controlling and manipulative is so toxic, I tell you. We're both Scorpios, but maybe because he or she is more manipulative or controlling than I am, because that's the thing when you try to understand your zodiac sign. It's very, very important that you try to take note of your weaknesses and try to tone it down or try to improve it, because if you see that it's not really going to be good, not only for other people, but for yourself as well, then why not try to tone it down or to work it out? Okay. Anyway, getting rid of a Scorpio lover might not be that simple, though. This is a sign that sometimes has major problems in letting go and moving on. Ooh, yeah. If a Scorpio dumps you, it could be because you've been getting too bossy or tried too hard to impose your will and theirs. A Scorpio never willingly gives away their personal power to anyone, and however much they claim to love you, that also includes you. The biggest no-no, however, in Scorpio's eyes is betrayal. We've mentioned that countless times already. Once you've broken a Scorpio's trust, they will find it very hard ever to forgive and forget. Exactamundo. I tell you that. So never betray a Scorpio, because the fact that they've let you into their circle, they've trusted you, they've been very loyal to you, and then you try to do things and really betray them, in other words, then you can never get it back. They would definitely they would definitely sting you. They would definitely sting you. A lot of Scorpios would do that and then move away and then move on, and as if he never existed, and that it will be hard for them to forgive you, really. Some of them are, they have the ability to forgive, but to forget it, that's definitely not going to happen. Scorpios never forget. That's the one thing I'm so freaking sure of, okay? Okay, next. For good or bad, Scorpio always remembers, like what I said. Scorpio always remembers, and if it gets the chance to pay you back, it will do so even as many years further down the line. A Scorpio lover will reward your allegiance with undying loyalty. So in turn, they may punish your betrayal by seeking revenge, okay? Cruelty comes easily to some Scorpios, and you'll meet more bullies born under this star sign than any other. If you're a bit of a wimp and not up to defending yourself, then best steer clear of these guys. Really? Well, I know a lot. There's this this agent that I know. She's a sales representative. She's a Scorpio, and her last name is Brule. So they call her Brulee because she's also bully, you know. She's a Scorpio. She was born November 15. We're totally opposite. I'm not the bully type, you know. But again, that's what I've been saying. Not because you're a Scorpio, all of us, you know, share exactly the same traits, but definitely there are some traits that we share with each other, right? But it's quite interesting. It mentioned here that there are a lot of bullies born under this star sign. Anyway, moving on. If you've broken up with a Scorpio and it is your fault, okay, the best thing to do is honestly admit it. That's so true. We hate it, you know, like, for instance, if I found out something that you did something really wrong and that you still try to defend yourself and try to come up with lies and try to justify it, it really pisses me off. Like, come on, why just not admit it, you know? It's so freaking obvious that you did something. So, yeah, that's so true. Be very, very honest. Admit it, okay? But don't make the mistake of ever pleading or groveling with a star sign. So if you make a victim of yourself, most Scorpios will take full advantage of it to push you around and lose all respect for you in the process. If you can't win a Scorpio over by fighting your corner fair and square, it's far better to just give up, okay? Getting back a Scorpio ex is also far from easy. So it's best not to hope for too much. Again, the chances are really, really slim. But if you lie low and let them ruminate for a while when they're actually missing you, and it's funny, it says here when they're missing you sexually. Sex is an incredible, powerful magnet for Scorpios. Not all, of course, but yeah, probably for some Scorpios. There is a chance that they might be prepared to give you another go. Although Scorpio's ruler Pluto symbolizes endings. Bear in mind, it's also the planet of new starts. So again, that's so freaking true. Like what I've told you, pick up on the signals, pick up on the signs. Sometimes Scorpio can surprise you that it's already over. You know, that's one thing. Get that advice from a Scorpio, really. So if you're in love with a Scorpio, or if you're a fellow Scorpio, fall in love with a Scorpio woman or a Scorpio man. The thing is, Scorpios, they would just really surprise you. They're not gonna give you signs like really tell you outright, hey, I'm over you. They can just dump you all of a sudden. Like, you'll be left like, what the hell? Like, what did happen there? But if you have to be sensitive enough and try to pick up on the signals before that happens, then do so, okay? Try to be cautious about it. Because, again, I believe that Scorpios are actually pretty much very patient, you know, especially when they love someone. They can be very, very kind. Unfortunately, some people try to abuse that weakness or that, not weakness, or rather that kindness, and it's like a weakness, you know? And when they other people abuse that, and the Scorpio gets fed up and all that, it's done, you know? Even if, you know, how much you try to win them over, if they're done, they're done, okay? So you have to be very, very careful with that. There's also an advice here. It says here, 3 ways to avoid breakups with Scorpios. Let's see. Number 1, stand up for yourself. They will lose respect for you if you can easily be pushed around. That's so true. I don't like it. So, you know, you have to be, you know your rights and all that. You have to stand up, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. If it's wrong, then stand up for it. If you think that you're actually right, then stand up for it. Okay? Number 2, never get into an extended battle of wills. It can quickly turn very ugly. And then finally, number 3, show your loyalty. Betrayal of trust is the biggest deal breaker for this sign. I think that's what we've talked about in All About Scorpio Part 26, right? Betrayal was really, you know, Scorpio makes a very big deal about betrayal. That's why they're very careful in terms of, or cautious in relationships, letting people into their circle and all that. Okay? So, we've been talking for almost 20 minutes now. I think the next topic would be, because we've talked about, like, how would you know if a Scorpio woman is done with you? The number one thing is when she stopped talking with you, really. She stopped communicating, and you would see the signs. She doesn't even have to tell you, like, I'm done, Some Scorpios, they hate confrontation. So they would just, be very, very transparent about it. Like they're going to tell you, not going to tell you, but really going to show you that there's something has changed, Either they stop calling you, they don't, do the things that they used to do, like even, call you or talk to you that much. And whenever they talk to you, it's just going to be really, really casual. It's, it's kind of like from a very passionate person that she is, she can turn into a really ice cold princess. Okay, so there you go. Now, I guess the next topic would be how to win and lose a Scorpio woman. Now, this is actually a blog. It's by Jessica Smith. You can check that out at looktouch.wordpress.com. So I like it. When I read it, I was really, surprised, and I also, I was interested in what she has to say. Okay, so let's skip and just, get to the point here. It says here, I want to make an attempt at an answer to two questions that people often search when they arrive at her blog. Okay, how does one seduce a Scorpio woman, and how does one manage to keep her? Okay. So winning and then losing a Scorpio woman. She said here, first, I would not recommend trying to seduce a Scorpio of either gender. It's just probably not going to work. There are methods I'll describe in a moment, but the first warning is don't. It's not going to happen. When a Scorpio wants you, you'll know it. And that's true. I agree with her. And she or he will go to any lengths to quietly, effectively, and absolutely seduce you. We're passionate and brave, and we'll figure out what makes you tick and own it. That's so true. Okay? You will definitely know it. You'll feel the signs that they're into you, whether it's a Scorpio man or a Scorpio woman. It will go to different lengths, like, in order just to get you, really. Okay? You will definitely feel that. If they're not interested in you, you would also feel it, as if you never existed as well. Usually one of the most positive signs that a Scorpio person or a Scorpio male or female is interested in you, you get the attention. You would definitely get the attention. Like, as if, in a room of 20 people, they're always, like, focused on you and really talking to you and all that. It means they're interested at you, okay? Because when they're not interested with someone, they just ignore them as if they don't exist. Okay. So next. So let's say you want a Scorpio and he or she is not paying attention to you. This doesn't mean she or he is playing hard to get. Of the Scorpios I've known, I've never seen one play hard to get. That's her experience, okay? Simply decide on you or don't. So either he or she is simply not interested, or she or he hasn't noticed you yet. That's true, okay? If he or she knows you and isn't interested, okay, it's fairly hopeless for you, but there's a strategy. If she doesn't know you yet, be brave and introduce yourself. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so according to her, not many Scorpios that she knows are playing hard to get. Okay. Well, yeah, actually, when we like someone, it definitely gives them signs, But we also don't want to be so obvious, like, I really like you. I'm also head over heels in love with you. We try to play mysterious or act mysterious first and try to test the waters and try to understand the person first before, but once we're actually sure, then we'd go for it, definitely. Okay. And option number one, it says here on her blog, she or he is not interested. What's the solution if he or she is not interested? Back off. Rethink this. Do you really, really want to be with this person? Obsessively? Devoutly? Are there any other options on the face of the earth for you? if you're at all uncertain that this is who you want to be with, go somewhere else. Get out while you still can. Because once you start something with a Scorpio, it's going to be a wild ride. That's true. Think about this. Don't think about it for a few days. Think about it for months or years. When you're absolutely certain that this Scorpio is your Scorpio, then go ahead and tell them. Give it to them in its raw, uncoated, honest form. See, it's all about honesty. Even earlier, we were like talking about if you made a mistake, be honest about it, you know? Be very open about it, because a Scorpio can uncover if you're lying anyway. So the more you lie, it pisses them off. Like, stop lying to me. Don't lie to me because it's so freaking obvious for us, okay? All right, option number 2. He or she hasn't noticed you yet, okay? What's the solution? You have to be brave. Find out about them and talk to them about themselves. You know, don't be showy, aggressive, clingy, needy, or otherwise too strong or too fragile. That's so true. I know a Scorpio guy who hates it when whatever zodiac sign it is, it doesn't matter. But if a woman is so clingy to him, he gets pissed off. So he gets ticked off, really, like in an instant, really. And if they're actually too strong or independent at the same time, it also puts them off, you know? That's the thing with Scorpios, actually. One thing is for sure, and I've been telling this over and over, Scorpios can see straight through your bullshit, okay? The BS and all that. They have a BS detector, definitely. And they're not interested in it. So they want to engage with your deep, dark soul. So another advice would be to try to tell them a secret, okay? Now, if the Scorpio is interested in you, you'll know, actually. Again, you will know. There will be some signs that, you know, and you'll be claimed. If he or she is not, then again, go back to solution number 1, okay? So, what does Scorpio want most is deep, undying loyalty. This makes relationships and friendships between Scorpios undissolvable even when they treat each other badly. Scorpios are likely to be a little evil, but it's realistic. Not everyone is good all the time. Can you handle a little evil? If you can't, then find yourself another sign. You know, if you can, you're our type. Now, the only challenge is to hang on for dear life without, you know, being, or without seeming clingy. Really, Scorpio doesn't like it when a person is clingy. A lot of, especially Scorpio men, they hate it, you know? They hate it when a Scorpio is clingy. I can be clingy at times, but depending, like, clingy in such a way that, because I try to devote everything to the person. So it might appear clingy or show devotion or be, you know, try to show a lot of passion. Some Scorpio men would interpret it as being clingy, you know, so yeah. But definitely, one thing is for sure, both Scorpio male and female hates it when their partner is really, really clingy or needy, okay? Okay, so let's say you have somehow been lucky enough to win yourself a Scorpio. Either you've attracted them and they've decided on you with that particular Scorp veracity, or you've slowly won them over and now you have them. Now, how do you get rid of them? Okay. Like all dragons, Scorpios have a soft spot, and this soft spot can be hit with jealousy. That's the thing. That's a weakness. Depending on the length of your relationship and the Scorp's investment in it, you may need more or less jealousy to hit the spot. But the arrow will eventually go in, and you will lose a Scorpio, possibly amid draconian flames forever. So I just want to warn you before you go about hurting a Scorpio. We read that entry about the Scorpio women. Okay, I think this is her blog. She said something about Scorpio women. I'm just reading it off right now. Okay, if we're hurt and we take pity on you, we might let you get away relatively unscathed. But don't count on our pity. If you destroy us, we'll destroy you. And we will heal, but you won't. Ouch. That's true. Okay? That's so true about if you destroy us, we'll destroy you. I've been saying that over and over again. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Okay? I don't know a single Scorpio who wouldn't sting you if they get hurt. They would always sting you. They would always sting you. I read once in a book by Linda Goodman that there are types, again, we know about the types of Scorpios. There's Dove, there's Scorpio, eagle, there you go. And then there's the lizard Scorpio. They say the lizard Scorpio would actually try to sting you every now and then when they get hurt, about something, or you've inflicted pain on them. When they try to get back at you, they would actually try to sting you over and over and over and over again. But the one thing is that the good thing, rather, about Scorpio Eagle is that when they actually encountered someone who tried to really step in their corns or tried to hurt them, what they would really do is actually, it would still get back at you. They would get back at you and make sure that you'll never do it again. But they're just going to do it once, After that, they move on. And I think I'd go for the Scorpio Eagle thing, instead of the Scorpio stinger who loves to, or the lizard who likes to sting every now and then. They love to sting their enemies, or their the people or the person who tried to really hurt them badly, okay? But for Scorpio Eagles, again, they would just do it once, they would get back at you and then they're done. But the point is this, they would always get back at you. Scorpios would always get back at you. I know a lot of Scorpios who like to get even, really like to get even. If you did something to them, they will get back at you, and sometimes do exactly the same thing that you did to them, or even worse, okay? That's so freaking true. Anyway, it's already been 30 minutes of me talking here, I guess, about the Scorpio flirts. I think I'll be doing that on the next recording, alright? But before I actually end this, I'd like again to thank many of you for leaving some comments and then checking out the All About Scorpio recordings that I've been posting. Again, I don't own any credit. I also did research, and I've been saying that over and over, like this is from this website and all that. But because I'm also a Scorpio who loves to do some research about, fellow Scorpios, talking about their sign, about what they do, like if they got hurt or when they're in love, how do they act and all that, and other informative websites out there that makes me really more informed, or keeps me basically informed about my sun sign. I don't know my rising sign and moon sign, unfortunately, because I don't know the exact hour that I was born, but it would help if I know, right? But anyway, I'm sorry, I don't think I would be doing the Scorpio, how does a woman Scorpio, or a Scorpio women rather, flirt. I'll probably be doing that in the next All About Scorpio, part 28. But for now, today is really more about how Scorpio women gets even. You hear that? Sorry, a lot of motorcycles. I'm staying in a flat where it's near the street, so that's why you always hear all those crazy noises, motorcycles and all that. Sometimes helicopters too. Anyway, okay, that's about it. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys checking out my recordings about Scorpios, and I promise, really promise, because I thought I can actually squeeze in the topic about discovering how a Scorpio woman flirts. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time because it's past 30 minutes, and I think it's going to be like, an hour if I'm going to include this at the same time. Okay, so watch out for the next upload about a Scorpio woman flirting, and we'll probably inject as well how does a Scorpio man flirt at the same time. All right, and then we also have a question for Scorpio women. I see a lot of blogs out there, Scorpio men asking questions about Scorpio women. It's funny, we're both Scorpios, and there are Scorpio men who are actually very interested. They have questions about Scorpio women for some reason, and there are also other famous questions that other people have about Scorpio women. We'll probably also cover that on the next recording. If not, we'll see. But definitely on the next recording, like what I promised, it's going to be about flirting and dating and all that. Okay, so again, to Ang, thank you again for your comments. He also gave me an idea really to talk about the signs, you know, whether this person is actually into you. I know you're not asking about it, but it seems that you're actually pretty much interested to find out if she's really into you, or why is it that she just stopped like talking to you for how many days and all that. It depends, really, you know. Scorpios are really unpredictable at times, you know. So I guess that's about it. Thank you once again for listening to this audio recording, and until then, see ya, guys. Goodbye.